So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at training frequency. How often should you be training to maximize results based on the type of training you're doing? Now, back in the early days when I used to train and I was immature to training, and you may be the same, 16, 17, you often find a bro gym split and you might be training 4-5 times a week. And to be honest, when you're 16, 17, you can probably deal with that level of training and you can probably train and still get really good results. You're going to get newbie results when you first start training, which means you're going to maximize muscle growth. Your testosterone at that age is probably, not at its peak, but it might be coming up to its peak. And so at that time, when you're starting to do it and you're starting to learn, you're starting to get into the gym, you can really start to push yourself a little bit further and you can develop your muscles with less recovery time. Now, as you move and you start to progress, particularly what will tend to happen, your strength will go up. And as it goes up, particularly in your early 20s, you might start to do other lifts like deadlifts, squats, bench pressing, and start to push your 1 rep maximums. And this is where really your body then needs more time to recover. However, you're still in your 20s and therefore you've got good levels of testosterone, your muscles recover much quicker, and so you can probably train 4 times a week, 5 times a week and still get away with it. Over time though, however, as you progress, you'll reach plateaus naturally within your workouts, within your strength, within your 1 rep maxes, and also your workouts will start to change. You may get a little bit bored, you may want a bit of variety, you may move and start doing a bit of running, you may do some more functional stuff, you may start to do CrossFit. Whatever that is, your goals are going to change, and with that will come different lifts, different strengths, peaks and troughs over time. Generally, this is what I've tended to find with most of the people that get involved in training. If, however, you are an individual that's consistently lifted over long periods of time, you'll probably get into a rhythm and find that actually, unless you really are competing at a high level, which really for most people anyway is going to be in the 20s, you'll progress into your 30s and get to a stage where you just want to maintain or perhaps make some incremental gains in some of your strengths, conditioning, or the way that you look. And so we move from maybe a 4 to 5 bro gym split into what I find is optimal now at the age of 38, which is actually training 3 times a week. But it's a little bit different than that. Actually, what happens is when you train, and this is different for each people, there's something called DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. And you tend to find if you train now, let's say it's Monday, you'll find that you're the most sore on a Wednesday. And therefore, should it be optimal to train again on a Wednesday? Probably not. So what I've tended to find in recent years is if you train on a Monday and give yourselves 2 days grace, on the Thursday, you'll then be back to your optimum strength, you won't be sore, and you'll be able to perform a little bit better in the weights, the movements, and the exercises that you're doing. Now, the other thing that you want to add to that is to start thinking about how sore you are on that second day. So when we get DOMS, there's a school of thinking behind how sore they should be for optimal weight training. And if you are so sore, particularly after 2 days, that it's affecting your next weightlifting, then you probably need to reduce the weights, reduce the reps, because it's better over the course of a week to be able to train 3 times, doing more volume than it is to train once with such high volume that it leaves you sore and you can't train again. So in answer to the question for the video, which is talking about what's the optimal time and frequency to train, it would be enough so that you're not so sore that your DOMS is impacting on your ability to lift. But at the same time, the other consideration that we need to think about is training with the right volume and frequency that means that you're not so sore within a short period of time after training that you can get back to doing it and start to build that muscle and start to build that conditioning without it impacting on your weight training.